I love Dragon Ball so much. I love Dragon Ball ever since my dad first showed me to it as a kid. Since, I got a PS4 now and save money for it, I decided to find a cheaper copy on eBay. As I was scrolling through the list, I found one that is under $10, which is kind of surprising. I add to cart and just wait. The package has arrived about a week or so. After it arrived at my door, when I opened the box, there is no cover art when I open it. I checked this, and surprisingly, it still have the cover of the title. I found it strange, but I checked on it for a while to see if there's anything suspicious going on. When I checked, there's no more suspicion. I turn on my PS4 and pop in the disc. As I open the game, nothing strange happened like normal. Like the title screen and the opening, this kind of seems normal, I guess. I pressed the new game at that time. So, when I pressed the new game, I found something strange. I found that most of the race are not playable, except for the humans and the Namekian, and also the Frieza race. Of course, I picked the humans because there's no Saiyan after all. But during this time, I think to myself, wait, is this a demo version of Xenoverse 2? First of all, it doesn't make sense. When I thought it doesn't make sense. First of all, there is actually no way in hell this thing is actually on the disc. And two, this game is the demo version of it. It's like on the downloadable version of it, maybe. I found it strange, so I play as the human after I'm done created. So I decided to play as the human, and I decided to, start the game. But before I start the game, I decided to customize the character first. After I'm done, after I feel happy about it, I decided to, press start and then start the game. That's when I found something strange. First of all, there is no NPC character actually just mumbling around. There are no teacher, no one. The Conton City is empty as hell. The only thing that's keep me company is this robot. Actually take me to different places. So I decided to go to the story mode and then see if it works. Surprisingly, it said, "Sorry, the story mode it doesn't work right now. Can you do it? We can do it later. Come back later for more." So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna just keep going. I started searching around which part of the story mode actually work. Although I try to explore, the empty Canton City, which is no music and only just sound effect from the background noise, which is very creepy, I know. After I'm done searching around, I decided to go to the back to the to the main start, the versus mode. The versus mode didn't work, but the Power Quest still worked though. It still works. Strange thing is, it still worked. Okay, so when the Power Quest does work, I select the one. The only thing that is actually appearing is that only one thing with a question mark as an enemy. I found it, strange. Why is there a question mark enemy in there? I decided to keep my mind off it and just decided to, just play it. Let's see what's happening. That's when I found something really amusing. Okay, so the amusing thing is all the characters, including the DLC characters, are unlocked for some reason. I was very hyped for a second. For a couple minutes. I was hyped because it's really amazing that this version of the game is actually having you to unlock all the characters at the very start without having to buy some of the DLC character. After I'm buying some of the DLC, after selecting the character, I decided to select 3 of my teammates and then go on and play. The only thing weird I found is that at first it was empty. Its settings are set place on the root, on the corrupted version of the rune of Spirit of Time. After I go around and actually just wait for about 1 minute, a new enemy appears, and what appear makes me shiver down my spine. You see, the entity appeared really creepy. It was a black thing that had its eyes as empty as a void, and it has blood covered tears, and it starts sobbing like a total creep. I was extremely scared at that moment, and I was actually shiver as I played the game and tried to defeat this entity. The entity has a really much insane amount of health, to be honest. There's almost infinite health. I managed to get my hands on it and try to defeat it, although it's really difficult to defeat it. When the strange black entity is trying to attack me, it takes almost like half of hearts of damage, which is very unreal. After they defeat my character, because the first one I use is Jiren, the entity after my character is defeated, the entity start doing like tearing him apart in half, as the alien's blood is actually splattered everywhere. As it actually does so, the thing starts to look at me and starts to laugh like a total maniac. And then the screen goes black for a moment. After it goes black, a red text appears saying, "You wanna go for another round?" I was like, holy fuck. What the hell is this version of am I playing? I tried to actually, I tried to eject this, but the console said it couldn't do it. And I started asking myself, what the hell am I got myself into? A moment later, I go back to the character select screen. As you can see, Jiren is no longer playable because he's dead, of course. So I decided to pick Fuse the Moss. Also, I forgot to mention which map I spawn in this time. Well, the map I spawn in is where I fight the entity. It's full of dead corpses of people got teared in half, decapitated. Another one get their eyes scratched out, which is very disturbing and sickening. I actually have the advantage with Zamasu because he can use Divine Storm and all that broken attack. I managed to get the entity down to 3 bars of health, which is very good. Although I managed to dodge most of its attack, it hit me with 1 punch, and then it's almost like takes up 2 of my health bars, and I almost did. So I try my best to keep fighting the entity, but at the end I get defeated again. When I lose, the entity started picking up Zamasu's, laying there just actually being weak, and rip his head off just to finish him off. He's supposed to be, well, invincible, no pun intended. And that thing just stared at me again, but this time, the entity just looked at me and screamed. And then the scream turns black for a moment. And then the loading screen appeared. After the loading screen appeared, I'm come back with Canton City. This time the sky has turned blood red. As I saw around me, thousands and thousands of corpses ran upon me, with them having been decapitated, cut in half, get their organs splattered around the ground. As I look at fear, what the hell am I just actually saw? This is unreal. This must be unreal. How could someone do such thing? It's like the same thing as the map, but as the previous map, I tried with the entity. But okay, I paused the game a little while, and then think for a moment. I think for a moment that no, this can't be real. This can't be real. I can't do it. I can't deal with it. What happened? What is this version of am I been playing at? I think for a moment as I was shivering and trying to calm myself down for a while. As I calmed myself down, I decided to take the gun controller and decided to walk around the place, that is actually filled with many corpses of Namekian Saiyans humans. And yes, Frieza race too. As I keep looking, I try my best not to panic and try not to actually vomit out. But as I keep looking, in the mountains, somewhere in the mountains, I hear a faint sob, a crying, and a whimpering. I decided not to get curious, and I don't want to take that chances, so I decided to run away from that noises as much as possible. As I run away, it starts to rain blood. The sky starts to rain blood everywhere, and I was thinking to myself, it's not a good sign at all. What the heck's happening? As I actually look the camera behind me, that thing start chasing me at full speed, and I try my best and hell to stay away from that entity. As I try to actually fly at full speed as well. As I fly, the maps are slowly disintegrating into nothingness, into a bunch of binary codes, and then disappear into nothing. As that thing slowly catch up to me. As it catches up to me, another scream also appeared. The scream was loud as hell. Oh hell. And then after this scream, and after that, the game crashed. After the game crashed, I noticed my PS4 start to overheat a little bit. Started overheat. And I actually jump when the PS4 started. Actually eject the disc and throw it out the window. As I'm barely dodging with my life. If I didn't dodge that, I would be sliced in two right now. And then it broke my window. After it broke my window, it landed on my fences in the backyard. So I go downstairs in a mere adrenaline rush. As I pick that disc up and I'm actually frustrated with this. How could someone make such a messed up copy of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2? I decided to actually burn in the furnace and make sure that doesn't exist anymore. This thing should not exist. With the trauma I'm having right now, it's actually hard to get rid of those things out of my mind right now. It's really, really hard to get those things out of my mind. I decided to wait a while until waiting until my parents get home. My parents usually get home at 7 p.m. at night. So when they do get home, I decided, to ask my politeness and then hug them. And after that, I decided to brush my teeth and go back to bed. That's when I get a weird dream going on. You see, I was in this dark hallway and I was actually just running. I was actually trying to find to exit. In the 10-kilometer radius, it was actually just a fog, a mist fog. As I keep walking, the fog is dissipating. But however, until I look behind me. And that is the same entity that is from the game. It's trying to chase me down. When it does, I run for my life. I run as fast as I can, and I hope to God that it doesn't catch up to me like last time. I keep running and running. And I keep running as fast as I can. Since this is a dream, I never get tired or exhausted after all that running. But I am actually trying to run away from that thing. As I run away in the pretty much 20-mile radius, the hallway starts slowly become blood and covered in the fleshy floor. As I run to the fleshy floor, it's very sticky and weird to actually feel. I decide to not care. And just I can. As I look behind me for a little bit, that thing is still chasing me, floating towards me, chuckling like a total maniac. I don't know what to do. So the ground. So if I look in a situation, if that thing caught me, I would probably lose my life at that point. I would lose my life. And then. And as I saw, and then an arm started appearing on the ground. The arm is actually covered in black void, the same as the entity is, and it's trying to grab me with it. If that thing catch me, I would not survive. I keep running and running, and then I saw a light there, a white light. That must be the exit. That must be the exit. So I keep running and then I jump through the exit. As I jump, I hear a whisper before I wake up in these nightmares. If you did not keep running, I will take your life in your dream and bring you straight down to hell. When I wake up, I scream my lungs out of how there's that thing was. My mom and my dad run over to my room after that, and then to tell them that I'm actually okay. I tell them I'm really fine and hug them as tight as I could. Tears bursting through me as I was actually shivering for my life. I tell my parents everything that this dream is going on. It actually feels so unreal, and I was actually having bad traumas from it. Although I still like the Dragon Ball games, but this time I'm actually love Dragon. No. Although I still like Dragon Ball game until this day, but now I decided to be more careful about it and not buy the cheaper version on eBay. And now after I got the original copy of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, I'm not seeing the game ever the same again. Because of that goddamn thing ruining my life. I don't know what to do now. After that creature actually appeared in the game I actually have, I never see this original game the same ever again. That thing ruined everything for me.